Hi, guys. Welcome back to a new episode of A Million Minds with Anita and Hirot. Thank you for making it with us. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Fine.
Good.
By the way, I never asked you, what did you think of Real Madrid losing the Champions Club, the Club World Cup?
The FIFA World Cup.
Yeah.
Um, it's in the past now. Who did we lose to?
PSG.
PSG. Oh,
4
yes.
0.
Sure. That's why I didn't want to remember it. There was
Erased
I
from the
erased
memory.
that from memory. Thank you for reminding me.
The
Um,
trauma
yeah, the team was in a bad.
situation.
Yeah,
It wasn't the greatest start for Xavi.
no. But he will get. It will take some time.
Yeah, of course.
So, yeah.
It's a very different team
And
than when he
PSG,
left, I think. So he has to.
compared to when he was playing,
Yeah.
yeah, of course. It's a complete different team.
Yeah.
I don't think there's a single player
Modric.
who's shared.
Modric.
Yeah. But Modric stopped playing,
Yeah.
technically.
Yeah. But
He
okay,
just
but
played this one
yeah.
as part of the season because this was added to it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, both Modric and Vasquez will not be
I
in
know.
the. Vasquez was also playing, so he would be the second player in common.
Mm-hmm.
But both of them will not be there from next year.
I know.
I would say PSG played a very good game as well,
Mm-hmm.
randomly.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't play that good against
Chelsea.
Chelsea. If they played how they played against Chelsea against us, it would have. I'm not saying we would have won 4-0, but it would have been a more balanced game.
Yeah.
Slash, we could have won.
2-1, something like
Yeah,
that.
2-1. One team would have won 2-1
Mm.
or 3-2
Yeah.
because their defense was full of errors. But when they played against us, they played a very unified team.
Yeah.
They had their team together.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway,
We
it
move
is
on.
what it is. Huh?
Yeah. We move on.
It's no point the Real Madrid winning every single match as well.
Yeah.
Then what's football?
Exactly.
It's fun that there's a chance we lose.
Yeah. And no matter what we lose and win, we're still the best. So that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, the best doesn't mean they win every single game.
Of
There is no
course.
such team. There is no such concept.
Yeah.
It just means they're overall.
The most constant at winning.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. It's a good team. It's a strong team.
Mm.
This is what it's enjoyable to watch it. After all, football is entertainment.
Exactly. That's
So
why it's
it's
made
very
for.
enjoyable watching Real Madrid games.
Yeah.
For a lot of teams, it's not fun to watch their matches.
Yeah. I mean, for us, I would say it's too much fun because we have some kind of like heart attacks,
Yeah.
every now and then.
But to be honest, if you watch British football, because I used to, and that's one of the reasons I stopped watching it
Okay.
many years ago, they're not that fun to watch. They come very strategically, which is a good thing. But then, a lot of times it's just defending, doing that one goal, and then keeping the defense,
Yeah.
and just even wasting time and doing random things.
Yeah.
It's very strategical to gain the 3 points. They care about that. So it's not such an entertainment,
Yeah. Yeah.
to watch the game. When a team is 1-0 up, minute 70, it just becomes almost unwatchable after that.
Yeah.
You know?
Mhm.
But La Liga games are not like that.
No.
Especially, I mean, not all of them, but most of them. Or I would say it's the same with Italian league.
I was gonna
It's
say.
good. Serie A is also nice to watch. But German league, it's not nice to watch so much. When Bayern is strong, they go up, they win 8-0.
Yeah.
It's like, what is there to watch?
It's like French also, like PSG and
Yeah.
the rest of the teams.
Yeah, it's not that fun to watch. England is not that one team is stronger necessarily.
No, it's a different type of.
Yeah, they're just very conservative. They play extremely conservative games.
Mm.
So the average goals are pretty low in a British match, in a Premier League match.
Yeah.
But in Spanish matches, it's like 4-3.
Yeah.
Like you just watched 7 goals back and forth.
Mm.
A good game is like a game that happened between Barcelona and Inter in Champions League. This is a good game. It goes back and forth. This team is in the lead. This one draws and then goes back up.
Yeah.
So it's in front and then draws. The tension.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's no fun watching 60 minutes of absolute defense.
Exactly.
One ball goes through, one goal, and then another 30 minutes, 20 minutes of absolute defense and kicking the ball out and wasting time and doing 55 substitutes. What's happening with the substitute rule, by the way? They keep increasing it for different matches.
Yeah.
3 was enough.
Yeah.
Why did we go more?
I'm not sure.
But anyway.
But you know why this happens? Because we Mediterraneans, we Latins, we play with passion. See, the best ones is Spanish, Italian. We play with passion.
Yeah.
That's why it's the most entertaining. That's why it all started at Rome when they made the gladiator fights as a kind of sports, and from
Yeah.
that it became all of the other sports, like
Yeah.
mainstream and stuff, because it's supposed to be an entertainment for the people.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, so let's do some real estate. What do you think?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Let's see. Do you think Dubai's property market is overheating or just getting started?
There is no overheating or getting started as one word answer, to be honest. You know, if anyone says it's just getting started, you know, without facts, Dubai real estate market is definitely not. When you say heating up, you mean it's a bubble? It's definitely not a bubble. Definition of a bubble is when there is. It can be for anything, right? Bubbles is not just for real estate. Bubble in a general basis is something going too high up. The prices going up way too much compared to everything else in the society, in the economy. So nothing's going up, and there's just this one categorical thing that is exponentially going up. That's when it's basically a bubble. Or in other words, the supply and the demand chain is not matching. They're not following each other closely. One of them is just booming, the other one is like the same or even going down. And you wonder what's supporting this market. So it's definitely not, because Dubai is increasing in population by around 1,000 people who are coming here to live every day. So that's 365,000 people who are added every year to the current population of Dubai. Now, if you factor in how many people are leaving, it's extremely low. It's extremely low compared to a lot of people countries. For example, one of the biggest one, UK. If you compare the growth in population of London versus Dubai, in the past 10 years, I think it has a 14% gap in the growth rate. And have in mind, a lot of people move to UK, but let's be honest, a lot of people who move to UK are not all successful. They're not all millionaires. They're not wealthy. There's a lot of people who go to UK for a lot of reasons. One of them, asylum seekers, which is not the case here in Dubai. None of these population 1,000 people who are coming here are asylum seekers, meaning they're not gonna go get money from the government. They're not getting housing from the government. They're not damaging the economy. Never mind, they're actually adding to it. But unfortunately, in UK, I've lived in UK for many years. I know how the systems work there. A lot of these people who move there, they're better. UK is better off without them. In fact, that population growth is worse for the economy, because there are people who are going there without knowing the language, without knowing English, without knowing any skills, or they don't have any profession that they're gonna pursue when they reach this new land. So they're just gonna go there and show a white flag. We come from a bad life. Help us. And help us doesn't mean help us grow, help us survive,
Yeah.
right? So there's taxpayers who are paying for them to just
Exist.
survive, exist, which is not helpful to the economy. This is not going to drive any housing prices up, right? I mean, it is, but this is a bad thing. Why? It depends. Two things. First of all, if they go in the government housing systems, not really. It won't affect the private sector of real estate. It will not really affect it. But if they do get into it, or government stops having new houses for these people and has to like distribute the older ones, or somehow like multitask them in between having them settle with the government housing and private, then this will drive the prices high up. But no one's earning money. So this is gonna just like clash kind of, right? But here, when you can only increase prices of housing if the job market, if the employment rate is high up, if the salaries are being increased every year, if there's wealth being generated in the economy, this is the only way. By getting discounts and being a little left politically, which we all know how that works, it doesn't generate money. To spread my $1 million, half it with you who have zero, so we're both on 500K. I have $1 million, you have zero, and somehow through a democracy taxation system, I managed to have 500K of it at the end of the year, and you get another 300K to just kind of balance and to keep the society in a small range wide between the rich and poor, keep that gap close. It doesn't add more money on the table. We still have the same money. It's just I was forced to give some of mine to you. That's it. End of the conversation. Dubai doesn't do that. It encourages you to make some money as well. So I keep my 1 million and you make another 500. So now on the table is 1.5 million. It's not that I gave you some of mine. And you would say, how would this happen? They're basically bringing from other countries. They're stealing this. I mean, stealing not in a bad way, stealing in a smart way. Other countries can't progress. Dubai is creating the opportunity to progress. This happened in US basically. How did US get so big? US was nothing. It was a land that was found how many years ago? 300-400 years ago? How much is it from when they first made their constitution? It was 17 something,
17 something.
29, something like this. So what did they do? They stole every asset, human brain. They gave the best opportunities to Chinese people, to Middle Eastern people, to European people. There was a lot of these people who were not going anywhere in Europe even at the time, and they went there to find new opportunities. Same with Middle East. Even after that, all the Iranians right now who are smart, who are genius basically level in Iran, as soon as they can, they leave to US. Well, they're gonna help US generate money when Iran loses.
Yeah.
Right? This is exactly how US has progressed. It took the best Chinese, the smartest Iranian, the smartest Lebanese, the smartest
Indian.
German, Indian, all of it, pulled it together. The smartest, the most passionate, the most ambition, not just any. This is the difference. UK currently is taking Europe in general. They're taking a lot of, I don't know what to call the category, but a lot of just people out of nowhere without going through any kind of filter. They don't ask, okay, what is it?
What skill do you have?
Yeah, they just take people.
They used to ask that at the port in US when they were bringing people in. Like, they used to ask, what's
It's the
your
correct
skill?
way to
What
do
will you
it.
come here to
Yeah.
do?
It's the correct way to do it.
Like, how are you going to help us as a country grow?
I would say the only one that is still, even currently, since 2022, since May 22 elections, it's Labour government, which is a left government of Australia, is the only government that is still even left, but keeps these high standards up. They don't just take everyone in. They're not just taking because look, I I I understand the empathy, I understand all of this, but to maintain these people who are coming in is a task. It's like, it's, if you want to give an example of a country taking so many asylum seekers in and they can't support their own people, everything will fall apart. It's like saying, you have a family of with 2 kids and you're barely surviving, and then you just decide to adopt 5 more kids. How is that a logical thing to do? I understand that you're being a good person, but you're being a bad person to those kids and to your own kids, because life is going to get tough for your own 2 kids. You couldn't satisfy their needs. What are you doing taking 5 more on? What are you doing? Why would you do that? You know, it is exactly the same system. People who are in England are crying from unemployment, from low wages, from everything. They're all leaving. Every British person who's leaving to UK, go look at Instagram. Go look at people who are not even making money. Not the ones that are making money. The ones who don't make money. They still don't want to go back to UK.
Yeah.
These are people generationally British. Your own people, you cannot support it as a government. You cannot maintain it as as a parent of the country, as a guardian of the country, you cannot guard your children. You cannot create opportunity for your 20-year-olds. What are you doing taking more 20-year-olds from random countries who can't even speak English, have no skills? You know, your own native speakers, people who graduated in your universities are leaving your country. People who are assets to your country. This is your human resource. You're getting rid of that, and you're just taking random things in. It's not gonna work. It's definitely not gonna work. And as you can see, anyone who knows this will know. Look at the rate of millionaires leaving UK. You'll know this is a losing game. It's like when in that point in Monopoly that instead of having cash or anything, you you have to sell your houses to pay the rent to the other players.
Yeah.
That's when you know from here you're only going down.
Yeah.
It's extremely hard to recover.
It's like the musicians in the Titanic. They were just staying on board, knowing that they were going down.
Yeah.
You know?
But Dubai is the opposite. So going back to the original question, why is Dubai property prices going up? Because there's so many people moving in here and no one wants to leave. Now, things might change tomorrow. I don't know. You don't know. No one knows. COVID happened. Did anyone predict that? Absolutely not. No one can predict things like, random things in the world that happens. Based on, it's like a butterfly effect that comes through a thousand pieces of domino falling. Things like that we cannot predict. But when you look at statistics, when you look at the facts that are right now in front of us, you can see that more people are coming in, more businesses are coming in, more people with education, skills, passion, and the derivative to do something are coming in. Families are coming in, young people are coming in. This looks like growth in population. What do people need? First thing, a home. I mean, maybe water, food as well, but except that, home. So when there is 365,000 people coming in, and UAE, well, Dubai is promising, is delivering around something around 120,000 units, and this is not this is an estimate. Then this number can be around 90,000. So 365,000 people coming in, 90,000 units. Average family is around 3.6, something like this. An average unit is around, I think, 1.9 population of average unit, because there's a range of studios all the way to a 7-bedroom villa. But obviously there's way less 7-bedroom villas than studios in the city. So when we say 90,000 units, it's definitely still less than people coming in. Now already the market has units. There is units in UAE. So you have to factor that in as well. But compared to the population it has, it's closely related as well. So no. So this was a long answer. Short answer, no. It's not a bubble. Unless something happens that everyone has, I don't know, a tornado happens and the whole region goes underwater, then yes. Then it was a bad investment. Your investment is gonna go down the drain. But if you think that the prices are going up for no reason, they're not. It happened everywhere after COVID as well. In Australia, I know the prices went up. 2020, end of 2021, it started going up. 2022, and just tiny bit start of 2023, but mostly 22. 22 was the huge boom of it. The biggest capital appreciations happened in 2022. Now, economy of Australia is predicted to enter recession 2026, but house prices are still going up. Why? Because the population growth is supporting the supply and the demand of the house. The growth is the demand. So it's supporting that supply, But the supply rate of Australia is way lower than, by city, compared to Dubai is lower. But the growth rate is lower. But they're supporting each other. So as long as the population is increasing, if the property price increases, it's fine. It's fine. It just means that the city is expanding. The outskirts are now being built up, meaning the outskirts are going from 500 dirhams per square foot to 1,000 to 1,500, and the central zones are going from 2,000 to 2,400, 3,000 to 3,500, depending on every area. We're not going to get into examples of each area in Dubai. But
Well, I wanted to ask, which areas do you think are the best to invest right now that will have
look,
a
usually,
good growth?
yeah, usually it's pretty easy to, I mean, anyone might know this. For people who don't or never heard it, you should always go with something that is limited supply. Now, what is limited supply? Waterfront, because there is only a certain amount. There's a stretch across the water. So when that finishes, right now it's on 5-6% remaining of the waterfront of Dubai. After that, it's finished. It's all built up. So of course, waterfront will always maintain value and increase value, better percentage compared to most areas. Second is villas and townhouses, and that's because of the shortages in Dubai. Because Dubai has always built skyscrapers. There is no villas. So people who want a garden, people who have kids, the families, they want their own private swimming pool, little swimming pool, not because skyscrapers have infinity pools, huge, but it's not private. A lot of people want the privacy. So you have your private gym, you have your private pool, you have your private garden for your kids. It's a different lifestyle. It's a little, Australian, American, Canadian lifestyle of housing was limited in Dubai. It was more like city built like New York. So now they're going towards focusing on building communities, building villa communities and townhouse communities. So it's for now, for the next 5 years, I would say, the demand will be there. Last year's statistics, around 40% of the market is demanding villas and townhouses. So out of every 100 people who's looking for a house, 40 of them, they want a villa or a townhouse. Now the supply of villas and townhouses is around 13%. So 3 times roughly. 3 times the amount of people who want townhouses. For every 40 people who are asking for villas and townhouses, only 13 can get one. The rest have to settle for an apartment, have to settle for a penthouse, duplex penthouse. Might feel like a townhouse, I guess. I don't know. For some people. So this is why it's good, because the percentages show the supply is lower than the demand. Same with the waterfront. Everyone wants a water view, but every property in Dubai built obviously will not have a water view, because how can that happen? So waterfront properties, villas, townhouses. And the third one you can go invest in, these are harder to estimate because waterfront is pretty easy to spot one. You see it's in front of the water. Townhouses and villas are pretty easy. The third one is actually hard to spot, but it would have great returns, is if you manage to spot which areas that are on the outskirts that will grow extremely good because of the infrastructure coming in, because of the demand, because of the government investing in there, because of all these things, because of things like, when we say infrastructure, we mean roads, highways, bridges, metro station, bus station, all of these things, as well as shopping centers, malls, just amenities, facilities in the area, hospitals, schools. So to notice which bit of land that right now it looks like nothing is going to turn into everything in the proximity in the next 5 to 10 years, you will have huge returns. Price per square foot in Dubai South was around 500 per square foot. Right now is nothing less than 1.5. So that's 3 times in 3 years. That's 300%. But to guess which ones are exactly the ones and which ones are not, on the contrary, people have invested in Town Square, which is still technically on the outskirts of the city. There's nothing beyond it. I've talked to people who own houses in Town Square, and they bought the unit a year ago for 880K, and right now it's still 880K. 1 year after, the developer still has units and is still selling at 880K. So you can't ask for more when the developer is selling 880K. How are you gonna ask for 900?
Yeah.
Who's gonna pay that? Who's gonna pay more for the same thing secondhand? Well, it's not secondhand because it's not built up by literal meaning, but by the official registry. It's second name of the owner. So who wants that? They go direct to developer. They get their advantages and benefits as well. It's easier to buy from a developer. Sometimes it depends on the developer, but usually it's easier. They're more flexible than people, especially if the person who's selling you needs the money. So obviously they won't be flexible. But to guess which one, so someone might have invested in Town Square 3 years ago, someone might have invested in Dubai Side, or even 1 year ago. And the one year ago would have bought at around 1,000. So it would have still had 50%. If you bought it on 1,000, now it's 1.5 right now. You would have 50% capital appreciation. Town Square is zero. If you like, you can call it 1%. Maybe maybe from 870 to 880.
Yeah.
But nothing. But Town Square will go up as well. Don't get me wrong. It will go up, but not as much as the other one. This is why it's hard to spot which one will be the highest. But obviously between first row seafront and third row seafront, anyone would know the front line would have the highest, and it will be easiest to sell. It will be easiest to rent, long term, short term, flip, whatever you want to do. In Persian, we say hulue. It means it's a peach. It means it's so good.
Yeah.
Right? It's a very good property. You will easily sell it with profit. You will easily rent it. You will easily do whatever you want to do with that property. But fourth row, people might come and they see the view. They're like, we will think about it.
Yeah.
But when you come in the first line, on Dubai Island, first line, directly looking into the sea or direct access to the beach, people don't think about this. They're like, yeah, we take it.
Anyway, I meant a little bit more like the proper areas, not like the best things to invest in.
I will not say proper areas.
Okay.
For that, you can call me. I will see what there is. Look, proper area, it really depends who you are as an investor and what you want to do. Because even with investing, I know you're not end user. You don't care about maybe the floor plan as much and which side it's viewing and sunrise is which side and sun set is which side compared to your balcony. Maybe you don't care about those. I mean, you should actually, because eventually you want to sell it to someone who cares, first of all. Secondly, I know a lot of people who buy floor plans. They say any floor plan, just 2 bedroom with this budget in launch dates. They buy the unit with any floor plan. Unit is ready. They can't sell it as much as they want, compared to some of the other units with the same 2 bedroom, with the same kind of floor, same kind of view in the same building. Why? Because that floor plan is a proper rectangle or a square. Anyone who moves in there, if a family goes there, the kids love the bedroom where they are, the parents love where the kitchen is, where the living room is, where the doors are, where the hallway is. They love it, they get it. Yours is like a random triangle. No one wants that. No one wants that floor plan. It looks like a maze. You have to go like randomly into the, your space is not used the best way because it was the unit that had 2 pillars going in random places, so the developer should have done crazy things to make it work. Your bedroom is not a square; it's a circle. No one wants it. It's a semi. I've actually had a unit that the one side was a semicircle. It's rubbish.
How does
One
that
time
work?
I stayed in an Airbnb one time. I mean, it was a little cool if you're staying there 2 days, but it was rubbish. The whole area was wasted, absolutely wasted. The room was something like 12 square meters, but it looked like two because all of it was wasted because of the way it was
Yeah.
designed. But I guess that was the form of the outside the building, because that semicircle was outside the building with the glasses. It looked cool from outside on the whole view of the building, but when that was your bedroom, it wasn't cool. It wasn't cool at all. These things matter, and of course the area matters. All of these things matter. You want low rise building, but it really matters what you want to do in the investment. You're looking to sell it to end user, you're looking to rent it, you're looking to make it Airbnb or long-term rent, or all of these have different things, different things. Because some people are looking to increase a rental portfolio. They just want a long-term rental portfolio. A lot of them mortgage. They just have 30 units in the city, passing by, and after 20 years, they're all mortgaged, so they're not making so much money today. But after 30 years, they're all finish up. So then they eventually end up with like 30 paid off units, right? So they go from zero pretty much to 100 cash wise, right? Otherwise, asset wise, on paper, they're increasing their value, their portfolio and their asset, but they're not liquid, right? It's not really their money yet. But after 20 years, 30 years, 25 years, depending on the loan, and the down payments and all of that, they will end up with millions of dollars. So that's something. But some people would say, I don't want to rent it. I don't want to deal with the rental. I want to flip it. I want to sell it. I'm only here to wait from the day of the launch of the property till the day of the handover, and 2 months after, 6 months after. You know, when we say handover, we don't mean exactly a handover, but within the next 1 year of handover, not more. I don't want to stay renting out for the next 10 years to make some ROIs back. This is so for all of these things, there's different units, different areas that an expert would suggest. So it's hard to say which area is the best because it really depends on what you want. You know, there's areas that are great for entertainment, right? So if you're looking to make them short-term Airbnbs, like Palm Jumeirah, for example, it's amazing, right? But it's not necessarily the best for a family. Not necessarily the best, especially families who come from international families who come. It's cool. It's a cool place to live. It's a Palm Jumeirah, man-made island, all of that. But they might prefer somewhere that is more near schools, near hospitals, near their workplace, near all of these, you know, less traffic, all of these things. So when you buy there, you should know who your target audience is. Your target audience is tourists. You're going Airbnb short-term rental. You don't want to be looking for families to rent your unit there. I mean, of course there is. Don't get me fixated on terms, but I'm talking about 70%. I know 30% will be other mixes, but 70% of people go there for entertainment. Every time you go to Palm Jumeirah, what do?
Beach club.
There you go. So as you can see, it's not a family spot. There you go. That just proved it.
Yeah, it's not many families what I see there every time I go, to be
Yes,
honest. It's
exactly.
mostly young people, or
Yeah.
even like they don't have to be young, but definitely they're there for entertainment.
Yeah, it's like saying, you know, Oxford Street
Yeah.
in London. It's not a family spot, is it? Richmond Park is a family spot.
Yeah.
That's where is a family spot. This is not a family spot. But do families live there? Yes.
Yeah.
But it's not a family. That's not your main target audience.
Yeah.
But of course, everyone lives everywhere for different reasons.
Of course.
You know, there's the exceptions always. But to answer that question, what is an area that someone wants to invest in? Call me. First, I qualify to see what's good for you. Then I say it. I don't want to say two names. You go buy something, and then 2 years after say, "Oh, I heard this guy say it, and it was bad," because I might have a different point of view than you. So I can't just say one area. What is the best car? It's like saying that. I might say, I don't know, a two-door American muscle car. And then you go buy a two-door American muscle car. But your situation is you have a wife and 3 kids.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going to work out for you, is it? That was my personal favorite. You should not listen to me when I say that. You have 3 kids. You can't put them in back,
Yeah.
basically.
But yeah, they should listen to you, but in a more personalized way. Like once they've told you what they need,
Exactly.
then you can.
So I don't know who's watching.
Yeah.
So if I know who's watching exactly, then I would say if I have Zoom meetings one-on-one. I don't meet them even, right? It's like cameras between us, just like there is now. But then I give them exact because I'm talking to only one person that I know. But right now I don't know who I'm speaking with.
Yeah.
If you want for yourself, after the camera, I'll tell you where to
Okay.
buy.
Perfect. Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah. Instead of wasting all your money in beach clubs.
I mean, that's just for entertainment, but like I have to go back home to somewhere. So,
Yes. Yeah.
you know, like maybe because for example, I've lived near the marina, so it was great for beach clubs because it's everything like it's 10 minutes away.
Yeah.
You know, but then I've lived also in like Business Bay, and it has other perks.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, okay. So anyone that needs an expert's opinion on where to invest or where to live, maybe they don't even want to invest; they just want to live. They should contact you.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
should. If I have no idea how to help them, I'll actually tell them openly. I
Okay.
said this is not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I know a lot of people in the industry as well, specialists in different things. I will at least guide them towards the correct direction so they don't randomly pick a property. Because investment properties is an expensive gamble if
Yeah.
you're gambling. You can lose a lot of money for no reason.
Yeah.
I know people who I was talking to a client. She was telling me she bought a house that was this was in Canada. For 500K, did some renovations. So the price that she spent was around 600K, so 100K for renovations. And after 1 or 2 years, people were asking her for the offers was around 800 to 840, and she was saying no way, right? And right now, she said if someone offers me 730, I'll give it to them, but no one asks,
Mm.
right? So you had turbulence, I guess, with the prices. I wasn't sure in the area that she was speaking about. I don't know the real estate market in that city. It was in Canada, but this was just an experience from the person, and frankly, she's an expert in the field.
Mm-hmm.
She does this for a living,
Okay.
so she's a real estate specialist, and this was her own investment for herself, one of her investments. You have to really be careful, otherwise you'll lose money, even if you're a professional. So it's always good to speak to people. A lot of people just randomly buy something with a developer. Don't do that. There's over 80 developers in Dubai. There's over how many areas? If depends how small we go, maybe 100 areas. So just to I say two things and someone Googles them and buys one thing, completely wrong. You need to talk to a specialist. You need to get to know them, tell them honestly. Real estate agents are your friend. I know a lot of people are agents, they're just in it for a quick sale, right? And this ruins the market. This ruins the trust. True real estate agent should only advise what he would do himself. So if I'm telling you, if I was in your shoes, I would do this. If I was actually in your shoes, I should have been doing that. If you're just pretty words, and if you were after the sale, you're thinking to yourself, I did a pretty good lie. You're ruining your own reputation over years, and you're ruining the whole market, to be honest. I never do this. I think carefully about what I'm going to tell, because the person on the other side they're listening to me, trusting me with their money, with what I am going to advise. So I better make sure what I say stands up to a very good standard of what 80, 90%, at least 90% of what I'm going to say happens.
Yeah.
Of course, I cannot guess everything because I'm not a god to know everything, right? But the stats that I'm going to provide, the advice I'm going to provide, it needs to be there. It needs to be 80, 90% there. Just like a doctor. They get things wrong 10% of the time, which is fine. But overall, you can trust them.
Yeah.
How often do you take their medicine? It's not a 50-50 shot. When you take what they've prescribed, you live or you die. It's not a 50-50 shot. It's way better success rate. Well, real estate agents, the issue is really the word of advice, dig into your real estate agent because they need to be your friends. They're like your lawyer. They're your, the developer is not your friend. It's the other side. It's the one who's selling to you.
Mm-hmm.
So he cares about his sale. The agents of the developer, same thing. If you're going directly to the developer, you think you're more safe. You're not necessarily. A lot of different factors, but not necessarily because they're only selling for the developer. They need to protect they're employed by the developer. I'm not employed by the developer. You come to me as an investor, I have a choice of 80 developers. So if I'm giving you these three, and most of them, if you go commission wise, they give me the same commissions. And a lot of times there's times I offer something that is even the lowest of the market because I'm sure that this is good. I will not have issues with it. When in 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line, you will call me and say, thank you, Hirat, as a client. You'll not call me and swear to me, say, what was this? You did this to me. Now I have lost this much because of you. I don't want that day to happen. I want him to come back when this one's finished and he's selling, to come back to me in 3 years to sell another one, and another one, and to sell one to their cousin, and to sell one to. So I want to have a good reputation. Dig in first to find out a lot of people focus who's the developer. Is he gonna finish? Is he gonna do this? Is he gonna do that? They focus on run things. Focus on your agent first. Pick a good agent. Just go with one agent instead of talking to 200 agents, because some people do this as well.
Mm-hmm.
They think the more agents that you speak to, the more understand. No, the more confused you're gonna get. They don't even remember who they spoke about anymore. I've had clients who come to me and like, yeah, that house you showed me. I'm like, I didn't show you a house there. He doesn't even remember there was another agent who showed the house.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just confusing themselves with at the same time multitasking, going with 10 agents, each of them showing 5 properties. They're looking into 50 properties. How are you going to pick? The most decisive person gets lost. You need to make an Excel sheet, interactive AI generated Excel sheet to keep up with this. You know, you're not going to get anywhere like this. So you need to find 1 or 2 maximum good agents, dig into their background, see what they did before. Why are they a real estate agent? Is it because they were working in a cafe and they got fired because they showed up late every day and now they're a real estate agent? Well, if that's the case, welcome to your loss. You know, you're signing up to get advice from someone who can't do 2 + 2 math. And you're trusting them with numbers.
Yeah.
See who's behind it. I know people who are doctors and they go into real estate. It's at least better. The circle around him in the society he was, it's full of educated people. It's full of people with wisdom, with knowledge, with experiences, with their parents, with whoever, you know, with their this the whole circle around them. This matters. Someone is a lawyer, someone is an engineer, someone comes from finance, strong finance background, worked in JP Morgan for 5-10 years. This guy, 60 hours a week as an investment banker, earning a lot of money, pressure was too much. He came to real estate market because he can, now for him, the numbers, crunching those numbers is so much easier than what he was doing. Less hours he needs to put in, similar kind of pay he can make now with that experience in this market. So that's why he did it. He just basically gave himself a break because he was being absolutely crushed in the investment banking world, because it's a lot of pressure. It's not a, chill job. You just randomly show up, have your morning tea, talk to Sarah about her weekend. That's not how big offices of investment banking works. There's a lot of pressure. You want to cry every second of it. The guy is a walking AI computer, right? So this person, when he tells you a percentage calculated, he knows something.
Yeah.
This is the important factor. 180,000 agents in Dubai. How many of them are actually qualified to talk? How many? Just test them. Say, calculate the rental yield for me. If they cannot calculate rental yield for you, what they are is a good salesman. They're not a good analyst for the property. And what do you want? You want to be sold to, or you want to make money?
Yeah.
Because if you want to make money, your analysis should be right. This is why investors from China, from Hong Kong, from Singapore, they don't care about anything. What you're wearing, what you look like, what your hair looks like, what your watch is, what your wife looks like. None of this. They don't look at any of this, whatever you have up for show next to your shiny, real estate career. They don't care about any of that. Say, put numbers down in front of me, show me, calculate for me. Calculate it different ways. If they're satisfied with the calculations of how this can go, they go ahead with it. But if you say, I'm absolutely certain this will smash it, doesn't mean anything to them. They're like, I don't care what you think. I care about what you prove to me. It's a numbers game for them. And it is a numbers game because you're in it to make profit. Banking system doesn't give loans on you coming to them and say, I have this amazing idea. It's going to be the next banger. You think you're going to get a loan out of bank, a business loan, if you say that to them? No. So you are the investor. You're the bank. Why are you falling for this? For the agent telling you this is a banger. This is a no-brainer. No, please, I have no brain. Calculate it for me. Tell this to your agent. Don't just fall for the no-brainer. Because a lot of people are in it for their commission, which is fair as well. This is a capitalistic world. It's fine. People who get to, be wolves sometimes wins. But you don't be the sheep. You can protect yourself to not be taken with pretty words. Calculate things. Go. Run through things. See if it's factual. See if there is evidence that backs this up. What they're saying. Or are they just saying things that don't exist?
Thank you once again. See you on the next episode. Bye-bye.
Thank you.